Hi, this is the Talk of Fame Network. I'm Clark Judge, along with Ron Borges and Rick Gossett. Now you've heard, of course, of men with blazers. We're again men with hats.
We're back.
That's right. We're men with big hats, and we do have cattle. I wouldn't say no cattle. We have cattle today because our Rick Gosselin was called out this morning by New England coach Bill Belichick at the Monday press conference, a day after the Patriots won their 6th Super Bowl. Someone asked him about Julian Edelman, the MVP of the game, and what did he say, Ron?
Said to him, well, let me tell you a little story. But it wasn't about a man named Jed. It was about a man named Goose Man and his famous stopwatch. What's up, Goose?
Well, back then, as you guys know, I used to be very heavy into the draft, and I talked to people at all 32 teams. I didn't watch any film. I talked to the people that did watch film that knew what a player
You didn't watch the all 22?
No, sir. No, sir. I didn't bring it. But I talked to the people that actually knew what a player looked like and were drafting players. And Belichick was one of the guys that I dealt with in my network. And if my feeling was if you share information with me, I share information with you. And for the guys who were very cooperative, I would say, here, I heard about this guy, I heard about that guy. And I remember one day.
And there's nobody more cooperative than Bill Belichick, right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
So Kent State had a workout, and Julian Edelman was an undersized quarterback, ran like a 4.3, and I was talking to Belichick that night, and I said, there's a kid at Kent State ran a 4.3. I mean, he's 5'9" quarterback, but we'll take a look. And he was, he said, I'm on this. I'm on this. This was a typical Belichick 7th-round draft pick type of guy.
And had he heard of this 4.3 guy, or was he a little bit?
He was, he would have liked to have known about this earlier, I think. But that's long story short. I mentioned to him, he got on it, and they ended up drafting him, and he ended up being a pretty good NFL player.
So, Ron, you've covered the Patriots for years, decades. When's the last time Bill Belichick either congratulated a sports writer or actually cited a sports writer for finding a player for his organization?
Well, that would have been on the 12th of never. But I must take credit for one thing myself. As much as I love my man Goose, I also suggested a receiver. I said, you're going to love this Chad Jackson from Florida. They're going to love this guy from Florida.
Yeah.
I took him in the second round.
I've recommended a lot of guys to a lot of players. Not all of them are Julian Edelman's, okay?
Hey, Goose, and a serious question here for you, though. Bill Belichick really does not get along with a lot of sports writers. He does get along with you. How did you forge that relationship? Because there are not many people who can even get an acknowledgement from him, or a hello in the office, or down the hallway, as you know.
Right.
How'd you forge that relationship?
What NFL coach places the greatest premium on special teams?
Bill Belichick.
Who's been doing the special teams ranking since 1980? So
Gooseman.
I have a lot of relationships based on that started with those special teams rankings, and Belichick is special teams are a difference maker. He's one of the guys that truly believes that special teams are a third of the game. So every year he appreciates those special teams rankings.
I think he's got to be a man with a hat, right?
Yeah, at least for the moment. Man with a hat.
Okay, one other question here, and this is also a legitimate question. There's a story going around of a lot of people talking at least about this story. Julian Edelman, Hall of Famer. And I think it first came up a couple weeks ago when Boomer Esiason said on national TV, he's got to be in the Hall of Fame conversation, to which I said, huh? But now it's getting some momentum. You guys are on the Hall of Fame, so am I, committees, and you're on the senior committee, subcommittee. What do you think when you hear Julian Edelman, Hall of Famer?
Well, for me, I think I've been fortunate enough to get through 2 or 3 guys.
The Hall of Fame calling right now. They want to know too.
But 2 or 3 guys, blessed to get them in the Hall of Fame, and I think it would be fair to say were long shots. If I had to present Julian Edelman, this is the wingspan of Michael Jordan long shot.
Goose?
Yeah, the all-decade team is so important. So I think 74% of everybody in Canton made an all-decade team.
I think that's Belichick calling for the Goose.
He has not been an all-decade. He has not even gone to a Pro Bowl. I mean, you really have to get to a Pro Bowl before you get into discussion. We're still waiting in that first Pro Bowl.
You know, what I pointed out in the story that ran or was running today is that, to me, he's Wes Welker from a decade ago. He's Wes Welker. Would you put Wes Welker in the Hall of Fame? And you wouldn't. And I think most people would say no. Wes Welker is 22nd in all-time receptions, 22nd.
Right.
Julian Edelman, tied for 148th. Now, Wes Welker didn't win a Super Bowl MVP, and he didn't win a Super Bowl, period. However, you go down the list, and as Rick said, he was a 5-time Pro Bowler. He was a 4-time All-Pro, including twice as a first-teamer. And Julian Edelman, 0, 0, 0.
Right. I mean, Edelman to me is a good example of, and Welker was too, to a lesser extent, that, look how late he was taken, and you get branded. I don't care how much you do after that. You're like a 7th round pick forever, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tom Brady, then you're a 6th round pick, and then you're, GOAT. But I don't think anyone's ever going to look at Julian, who's a clutch player, and think GOAT. Maybe small cattle.
Yeah.
GOAT.
Yeah, and listen, this isn't to knock Julian Edelman.
No, it's not a
He's
knock at all.
terrific player, and he
Terrific
fits that
player.
system. But Goose, to me, he's a system receiver. Fits that.
He's a good player.
He's a very
And
good player.
There are great players that aren't in Canton.
Yeah.
So it's no shame in being a good player that
Right.
didn't wind up with the bus in
And-
Canton.
and to
The
me-
overwhelming majority of players don't wind up there, and there are a lot of great
That's
players that aren't in Canton.
That's right. And to me, to get there, you've got to be one of the best of your generation. Would you make him one of the top 5 receivers today? No. Top 10?
No.
Top 15? No.
Probably
Top 20? No. I mean,
Unless games on the line need one.
Yeah, no,
catch.
that's true.
You know,
When the
and
game's
that
on the line,
counts.
he does
But
make big
as
plays.
To Goose's point, and I know we got to wrap it up, but only 1% of all the players that ever played professional football are in the Hall of Fame. So I would say to you, when you think of all the receivers that ever played, is Julian Edelman in the top 1%?
Right.
Took Bob Hayes 29 years to get in, and Bob Hayes was special.
Thank you, Rick Goslin. That's why it's Dr. Data. Okay, we're wrapping it up. We got to go because we're big men, big hats at least. We're big men too.
2 men in
big,
hats.
Big hats. No
Man-
cattle.
one man with
We
a
also
stop
don't
watch.
have any chicken, and that's where we're going. We got to go to lunch, guys. We're gonna get some chicken,
At
some fried
Gus's
chicken.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, some fried chicken at Gus's. Hey, let's go.